Hey my lovely YouTubers, it's me, Morgan Tracy J, coming today with the Women's Wednesday chat. Every Wednesday I just answer some questions and I uplift and empower you one conversation at a time. And this Wednesday, I'm going to answer a question from a young lady that I got on my website, and she just kind of said that she was really struggling and she lost her fire for God, and she just doesn't know how to get it back. And honestly, I think this is a lot of us. I've definitely been in these seasons, and I just want to share with you how to get your fire back for God. But first off, in the Bible, we don't really hear about fire, we hear about zeal. It's like the zeal for God or the zeal of God. It just means like a passionate, urgent, earnest desire for something. And so that's what a lot of people in the Bible had, especially the disciples, like Simon, they had a zeal for God. And so today I want to talk to you about how you can get that zeal, that fire, and bring it back, and you can build your walk again. But the first thing you have to realize is you can't give up. Because if you're going to go through a season where there is no fire, you have to lean into what you already know. If you already know about God, you already know the Word of God, lean into the things that you know and continue to build your walk. I want to tell you that it's so easy to give up and turn back. When the fire is gone, when there is no more chills, when God isn't giving you fresh revelation, when the love you feel for God is gone, when He's silent, what I want to tell you is it's so easy to turn back and do it your way. It's so easy to say, I'm going to just go back to my old lifestyle and the old way I was living. It's so easy, and I've even been tempted by that before because I went through a season where I felt like my fire for God was gone. Like everything was so forced. And I remember feeling like I'm just going to turn back around and do it my way because it seems easier. And then, God ain't even talking to me no more. But what I want to tell you today is don't do that, because I want to tell you that the enemy will be so happy if you turned around, if you quit reading your word, if you quit praying, if you quit seeking God. He will be so happy. But the thing you have to do is you got to keep striving. Even the days you don't want to read your word, even the days you don't want to pray, even the days that worship music sounds like garbage to you, you have to continue to serve God, not only in spirit, but also and in truth. What I want to tell you is it's so easy to turn back when the fire is gone. It's so easy to say, I'm going to walk away from you, God, when there is no more chills. It's so easy to do that, but the people who are true for God, who have a heart for God, will keep going even when the fire is gone, even when God hasn't spoken to them, even when there is no revelation or fresh manna falling from heaven for them. They will still serve God even in their deserts, even in their valleys. They will continue to lean on God. You hear it all through the Bible, how people had to lean on God through their hardest times. I need to tell you today that when you start to feel like your fire for God is gone, you have to lean back into Him. But also, one of the ways that can help you lean back into Him is to start getting expectancy of God in your life. It's easy to get stuck in the mundane and no longer expect to see God in your finances. It's easy to get stuck today and no longer expect to see God come through in your family struggles. It's easy to get stuck today and no longer feel like you want to see God in your life anymore. It's easy. But what I want to tell you today is if you have an expectancy for God, He will show up. You have to get that zeal for God back. You got to get that excitement. You got to say, today's a new day and God can open up a new door. What I want to tell you is when a girlfriend tells you, hey, I'm going to come over today, although you may be doing your new normal schedule, you're still expecting her to come. Although you may be calling people and filling up everything you got to do, you're still expecting to see her. This is the same way we have to be with God. Even though we are still have our daily schedules, our own requirements, but we still have to have inside that we expect to see God today. You have to have that expectancy that I'm going to see God in my life, in my family, in my finances, in my business, in the way that I talk to somebody, in the places that I walk. I'm going to expect to see God today. And when you get that expectancy, you'll get that zeal back. You'll get that desire. You'll build up that faith. You'll start to seek Him in His word. You'll start to seek Him in prayer. You'll start to seek Him in journaling. You'll start to seek Him because you're getting your fire back. I want to tell you, if that fire is gone, start to build the expectancy of God. Just expect to see Him today in your life. God, I want to see You when I write. I want to see You when I read. I want to see You in the shower, Lord. I want to see parts of You reflected in me, Lord. That's what you have to do, and that is how you build up your fire, and that is how you get back on track with God. I pray this word blessed you and ministered straight into your heart, and I know that God is going to do something amazing this week for you, for me, because we have an expectancy to see God in our lives, and I think that is the biggest thing. When you expect to see God, He will show up. Don't get stuck today and think that God is never going to come through. Start to build your expectancy. That faith, that fire, that zeal will come back, and you will be back on fire for God. I love you so much. Be sure you like, subscribe, also comment down below maybe one of your top tips that how you continue to build your fire for God. And last but not least, I will see you in my next video. Before you go, be sure you head over to His Daughter's Closet. The link is in the description box below, and sign up with your email for some amazing freebies at my website, but also some personal emails from me.